Imeh de Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, the mother of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, Kav Hawath Mishta'ya Mothar Milah B'Shub B'Tha, when his mother used to chatter too much on Shabbat, that's when he spoke, she wouldn't stop talking, she was talking and talking. Hawa Amar La, he said to her very respectfully, Ima, mother, Shubbatahi, today's Shabbat, Wahi Shathika, and she would be quiet. That's what it says. This, by the way, appears also in the Yerushalmi, but I didn't quote it twice. The same story appears also in the Yerushalmi we just read. So you see, you learn from this something many important things. You see, first of all, Kibud Va'em. You see how Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai spoke to his mother. Even when he was admonishing, he was telling her off, but he did it in a very respectful and very calm way. But you see from this that even chattering, even just talking a lot, shooting the breeze, so to speak, on Shabbat is not what Shabbat's for. It's not really proper. And this is also quoted by the Tosafot, by the way, in Masechet Shabbat. So we see that speaking on Shabbat is not just speaking about business matters, money, how much that car costs, how much do you pay a month on your mashkanta, your mortgage every month. No, it's not just about those things you don't talk on Shabbat. It's just chatter in general. It even says in the Yerushalmi, which I didn't quote here, it says before that, it says that bekoshi hitiru shelat shalom b'Shabbat. In other words, if it were possible to tell people don't even greet each other on Shabbat, that would also be justified. But Chachamim didn't go that far, because you have to be civil and you have to be friendly. But it's not a day for chatter, for idle chatter. It's not. It's just not. If a person takes these things to heart, by the way, this is what I always say to people: if you take these teachings here to heart and you don't carry B'Reshut HaRabim on Shabbat, trust me, your Shabbat will be totally different. You will sense and feel and perceive Shabbat completely differently. These two things are very, very powerful and very, very central. Yes?
So forgive my perhaps ignorance, but could you define idle chatter?
Most of what most people say most of the time.
That didn't help very much.
It's a little bit difficult to.
You're saying the focus is Torah and Hashem on Shabbat. Is that correct?
If you're asking me what can you discuss on Shabbat, you can discuss quite a few things and talk about lots of things. But it's not a day for playing Scrabble. It's not a day for playing Monopoly. It's not a day for
politics.
It's not a day for discussing politics unless you feel that at this point, by having this discussion with these people, you may be benefiting Klal Yisrael in some meaningful way. If you think you can't do it on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, but if you're only going to see these people now, so okay, maybe you should discuss it. But what I just said to you, by the way, is Rambam writes exactly the same thing in his Perush on the Mishnah in Masechet Avot. He says what most people discuss most of the time is Dvarim B'Telim. That's just the fact. Now, everyone is different, and yes, men are different from women, although there are more talkative men and less talkative men, and more talkative women and less talkative women, but generally women are more talkative than men. Chazal say, Nashim dabraniyot hen. And we see Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai had to say something to his mother. But the less you talk, the more time you have to listen to yourself, to the world, to the Bria, to connect to Hashem. Yeah, so if you're not going to do that on Shabbat, when are you going to do it? You haven't got time during the week. For most people, it's not really an option during the week. They're running backwards and forwards, they're picking up kids and taking kids and going here and shopping and work, and who has time for... Most people don't have time, let's be honest, for lots of spiritual pursuits during the week. If you're not going to do it on Shabbat, when are you going to do it? Yeah.
Maybe part of the question is, let's say it's not exactly Torah, but it's familial matters. This issue came up, that issue came up, talking about things that come up in life, issues. Family wants to discuss things, in other words. I'm
not saying that a family should sit down at the Shabbat table and eat in complete silence like monks in some Italian monastery in the 12th century, and whilst they're eating in silence, another monk will be standing in the corner reading from the Psalter. I'm not suggesting that, But yes, it should be something mechubad. It should be the spirit, the feeling of Shabbat should be felt. It should imbue the entire situation. Yeah. So when people get together on Shabbat and the first thing they begin to talk about is their mortgage or I don't know, whatever it is, or the cost of living, all of which are very valid discussions, but it's not for Shabbat. Why would a family want to discuss such things, or friends when they get together on Shabbat? Why would they want to discuss such things? I personally don't know.